What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman here. Welcome to the Smart Rider Basic Training e-course class 2201. We're going to be going over everything you need to know to plan your ride, what kind of motorcycles are out there, and what kind of gear you should be getting. And we're going to be posting a video every single Saturday from the course. Now, here's the thing. If you want to get the course all right now, it only costs you $4.99 the first month, $9.99 after that, and you're going to get all the PDFs, all the ebooks, and everything, like I said, right now. But if not, I'll be seeing you every Saturday. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Congrats on passing the quiz from Unit 1, Lesson 1, but we're right back into it, okay? So if you have to go to the bathroom, hurry up and rush and come right back, okay? So we're going to be talking about, are you good to ride? We know what the MTC awareness stages are and what to look for. Now, are you prepared to actually do that? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about here. You'll be able to identify if you're physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to ride. So rookies will learn how altered states of stress, intoxication, stress, and anxiety, attentiveness, and exhaustion affect the ability to focus. You'll be able to determine if you're physically able and mentally able and emotionally able and prepared to actually ride effectively. Okay. So the most important tool in a rider's repertoire is an awareness of what's going on around them. Every second of every ride, you have to actively be seeking out warning signs and ensuring that you are riding in such a way that you can react to any potential hazards before it's too late. Situation awareness. It's situational awareness. We got to be paying attention. Okay? You need to be aware. You actually need to be in there. Remember, yellow stage, not zoned out, zoned in. All right. As a rider, it's important to be aware of the risks associated with riding. Now, that's like I said, being a smart rider, you're paying attention. You're making sure you know the consequences. If something comes out in front of you and hits you, you're kind of screwed because you weren't paying attention. Okay? Very, very important. Vehicles, road surface hazards, potholes, all that stuff. Pedestrians, little kids running out. Terrible stuff. Can get you. Like I said right here, debris, road work, animals, pedestrians. I already said this. What are we doing here? I already said this, everybody. Okay, Nathan, let's move it on to the next thing. You only learn one thing from this academy. Let it be this. Okay, if you do not see the hazard or threat, it's right there. You cannot use the motorcycle skills you think you have. A lot of people think that they're really good at swerving, really good at braking. I'll be able to see it when it happens. But if you're not paying attention, how are you going to see it? How are you going to see it? You're not. So whether you have the ability to properly respond to a threat is less important than whether you have the ability to spot potential dangers and navigate around them before they become a problem. If you can't see anything, you're not going to avoid it. That's simple as that. You could be the best track rider. You could be the best stunter. You could be the best whatever. It's been 40 years and you never had a crash. If you stop paying attention, there's going to be a chance something will get you. I've said it like 5 slides now. All right. So before you ride, prepare yourself mentally and ensure you're capable of riding effectively. Okay. Are you sober? Can you concentrate? Are you aware of what you're getting yourself into? Before every fire we would go into, I would check my crew, make sure every piece of skin was not exposed, make sure their tank was topped off, make sure that everyone was good. Make sure we all had our tools, we had everything we needed to go, and we made sure that we talked to the safety officer and incident command so that we knew what we were supposed to be doing. If I was unaware and wasn't paying attention, I'd be screwed. It's just as serious as this. We're getting on a motorcycle, we're going into traffic, multiple miles per hour, dozens of miles per hour, and we can get hit. We can get hurt. We can get killed. Just as severe, just as serious. So if you can't answer any of those questions, if you're not sober, let's go back to in case you forgot. Sober, concentrate, are you aware of what you're getting into? If you can't do that and it's a no, just get a taxi. Get a ride sharing thing like Uber or Lyft. Get a good friend to come pick you up. Lock up your bike if you can. Maybe, bring 2 friends. One can ride the bike and you ride with the friend in the car. It's not worth it. It's not worth riding drunk or anything like that. All right. So if you're having trouble concentrating or if any part of your pre-ride routine seems more difficult than usual, it's because you're not paying attention or it's because something else is taking your attention. Anyways, if your ability to prepare for a ride is affected, delaying your ride until you find it easier to concentrate is recommended. Just take a break. And that could happen if you're in the middle of a ride and like this happens right here and you do a great red stage maneuver, you got yourself out of there, you did a nice swerve, boom, congratulations, mission accomplished. But now you're thinking about that. And you're riding straight, nothing in front of you, but you're thinking about what happened before, and you're not paying attention to what's in front. That's affecting your ride. You're not zoned into the right thing. Pull off the side of the road, Let your adrenaline drop, let your heart rate drop, your breathing drop. Talk to yourself, tell yourself, hey, what happened, happened. It's done, it's done, it's done. We got to focus on what's in front of us. That's what you need to do. It can happen anywhere, before a ride or even during a ride. So remember the stages, everybody. White, zoned out. Yellow, zoned in. Orange, something might happen. I don't know. Red stage, something did happen. Let's get ourselves out of here. Let's do it correctly. Let's use our skills that we've been practicing and training in the parking lot. Brown stage, something happened. I just crapped my pants. All right. So exhaustion. There we go. We got a lot of words up here. So it's pretty simple. If you're tired from after work, drowsy driving is just as bad, if not worse, than drunk driving. Same thing with being on the phone, but the thing is when you're exhausted, you're not really paying attention. Imagine trying to take the quiz after this, after 24 hours of no sleep. It's not going to be good. You need to be paying attention. You need to actually be awake. I don't want you to get stimulants in your system. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But if you're super exhausted, take a nap, take a break, stop. And it could be after a 6-hour ride and you're exhausted and you got 4 more hours to go. Take a break. You're not going to function well on that motorcycle. Intoxication, like I said, getting a DUI, getting drunk, have your friend pick you up, all those different things. Yeah, I think we should understand drinking and driving and drinking and riding, drinking and doing anything with heavy machinery is not advisable. It's not safe. I don't care if you feel like you can do anything when you're on top of the world after drinking. Liquid courage, guys. Can't be doing that. So let's not ride our motorcycles drunk. It's already hard enough to balance it on 2 wheels. Let's go ahead and try to do it when we see 2 or 3 different things and trying to avoid all of it. I wouldn't know. I've never done it, but still, let's not do it ourselves. You can read all that if you want. All right, so 45%. Here it is. 45%, big number. Okay, an unfortunate amount of accidents happen as a result of intoxication. That could be anything, drinking, drugs, anything like that. But according to NHTSA, okay, as many as 45% of motorcycle fatalities involve motorcycles who had alcohol in their system. So just alcohol. 45% of motorcycle fatalities involved alcohol. That might not be the only factor that contributed and made it to where that person crashed, because there's another 55% that died that didn't have alcohol, but 45%, imagine if we got rid of that one factor. We could almost cut the fatalities in half. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and ride. Drink when you get home. Go ahead and go into white stage when you're at home sitting on the couch having a beer. Don't do it on the motorcycle, okay? So other unpopular intoxicants include cannabis, okay, marijuana, THC, all that stuff. But cannabis is that I'm specifically talking about the THC part. There is, other things out there, CBD. I'm not going to get into that, but the thing is, anything that can delay. Okay, so you have your nervous system. So you have depressants like alcohol. You have stimulants like caffeine, methamphetamines. So your heart rate, your everything is going to be heightened with stimulants. Everything's going to be slower with depressants. So drinking and riding, you're going to be slow to react. If you have methamphetamines or any type of stimulants in your system, you're going to be quick to react. And we're going to talk more about that, how jerky movements on the motorcycle is not good. You don't want to be doing that. Quick jerks, quick slams on the brakes, not good, okay? So hallucinogens, you don't want to be dodging elephants out on the road, maybe baby rhinos or anything like that. Inhalants, that's going to reduce a lot of oxygen to your brain. It's going to kill your brain cells. I'm laughing. I don't know why, but the thing is, don't do it. To me, it's ridiculous. Just don't do it. Prescription drugs, that's where a lot of people can get in trouble. It can actually, if you didn't eat something or you have an adverse reaction to it, or it's a brand new medication, but you have to get to work. I understand that. So when something like this happens, be very careful, especially when you start a new medication, when you stop a medication, when you accidentally take too much of the medication, when you accidentally didn't eat anything with the medication or whatever it is that your prescription tells you to do, and you didn't do it right. That can hurt you. So just be very careful with that one, okay? So do what you want to do in your spare time. Okay, so I already said this. Sit on the couch, drink a beer, have fun, be at home. Don't operate heavy machinery when you're intoxicated. Just don't do it. So DUI, now this is more of a law thing. So you get an infraction for driving under the influence. Okay? They're not specific to in certain intoxicants, but for the most part, it's usually alcohol. But it can be cannabis, it can be hallucinogens, all those things that we talked about. You get pulled over, you're going to lose your license, it's going to get revoked. And, whatever it is your local law states, Arizona is a zero tolerance. You're screwed. There's so much. Please look it up. Just like I said, if you just don't drink and ride, you don't do anything stupid and ride, shouldn't have a problem. Okay. So right here, that in Arizona, the punishment for your first DUI, and I'm not even getting to the second, third, and fourth DUI because it just gets worse after this. You're gonna lose your license, 10 days in jail, at least 1,250 in fines. I don't know why I said it like that. Mandatory community service, which is not that bad, community service. Alcohol screening, education, treatment classes, kind of annoying. A certified ignition interlock device, that's expensive. All these things you got to pay for yourself too. The state doesn't pay for that interlock device. The state doesn't pay for your classes. You're gonna have to take time off of work for that, so you're not gonna get paid for that. You got to do the fine, 10 days in jail, have fun with that, and loss of a license. How many consequences are gonna happen after this? So not even gonna get in the second and third and fourth, and then going to jail and all that other stuff. You guys should just not be drinking and riding. It's pretty simple. Everyone's gonna beat that in your head whenever you take a class on motorcycle safety. So stress and anxiety, this is something that not a lot of people spend a lot of time on. This is something that I actually deal with all the time. I do have anxiety disorders. I do have depressive disorders and a few other mental illnesses, and it allows me to, be safe on the motorcycle because I understand I have to be zoned into the motorcycle. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. But anyways, it can be debilitating. So you're trying to distract yourself on the motorcycle. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and get here and not focus on anything out there because the anxiety, got in an argument with my wife, got in an argument with the boss, or, somebody's pissing me off. I don't know why, because of anxiety and panic disorders. Well, you get on the motorcycle and you're like, I'm going to go ahead and relax and I'm going to zone out. No, 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 no. You can't be doing that. So you need to zone into the motorcycle because if you zone out, you're still thinking about all those things. You're like, I'm on a motorcycle relaxing, but you're thinking of other stuff. You're not zoned in. And that's where a lot of people get in trouble. You need to zone in. So allow that stuff that's bothering you, push it out because now you're focusing on the motorcycle. You're focusing on your hand movements. You're focusing on that car. You're focusing on that car. You're focusing on that pothole. You're focusing on certain things. You're not focusing on what's back there. And then when you're done with your ride, you actually have a clear mind. It's like taking a walk. It's like sleeping on it. It's because you're not thinking about it. You're focused on what is currently happening. And that is what helps out with anxiety. Anxiety is when you're thinking of the future. Depression is when you're thinking of the past. When you're on a motorcycle, you're thinking about right now. That is what I want you to do. That's what helps me. It helps me a lot. So less experienced riders have to think more about what they're doing, which decreases reaction time. So brand new riders, you're out there, I want to go ride, I'm going to do this, I got an intersection, I got this. You got all these things, but you forgot how to shift because your brain can only take in, let's say, 10 things at a time, but there's 20 things you have to understand when you're first starting to ride. So if you ride safely, you go into a safe area like a neighborhood, what you can do is minimize that. So remove traffic, one less thing you have to worry about. Remove going at high speed, one less thing you have to worry about. Practice only in second gear, so all you have to worry about is shifting from first to second, second to first. So you start to do those things, and that's what we're doing here. It's the basic training. Realize you might actually go a little bit above what you can do because you're trying to do everything at once. So just minimize a lot of those things, and we'll be talking about how to do that in this basic training course. So beware that even distracted veteran motorcyclists will have a slow down reaction time or may react improperly to dangers. Now, that's going to be a lot of the complacency area where an experienced rider has been riding for 20, 30 years and like nothing bad's going to happen, but they changed the road on us. This road right here, this is actually Valencia Old Spanish Trail. This used to just go continuous. Now there's an intersection there. So if I've been riding and I haven't paid attention, I just go, I'm like, oh crap, this is kind of scary. What happened? This is a change I didn't anticipate because I wasn't paying attention. I was in white stage because I'm so used to just going on a left-handed turn right here. Boom, we hit something. Okay, so complacency like that can be really bad. Oh, nothing ever happened to me. I've been riding forever. I never got in a crash. I'm not going to work gear anymore. Can't be doing that. Cannot be doing that. Slow down reaction time. Same thing. You're getting older. Your reaction time might get worse and worse and worse, or you're practicing bad habits for years and you have a terrible reaction time. So, class, here's the thing. When it comes to stress, anxiety, alcohol, are you good to ride physically, mentally, emotionally? These are all very important questions to ask yourself, not just right now and then say you're good for the rest of your life, but every time you get on the motorcycle. One thing I like to do is the moment I know I have to ride and I'm starting to put gear on, that gear, I put on my boots, I put on my pants. I don't know why I did it in that order, but the thing is, the moment I put something on is the moment my mind changes into, are we good? What is it we need to do? I don't care. No, 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 no. Nobody else talk. I am focused on getting ready for the ride. And then with that aspect, you're now zoning in. You're zoning in, zoning in, zoning in, zoning in to where you do it so many different times that the moment you even think about getting on the bike, you're zoned in. The moment you put on those pants and then your boots, you're zoned in. There's nothing going to distract you. The only time anything's going to distract you is when you zoned in, you found, hey, my tires are damaged. Boom. Now you're not going to ride. Now that you know that you're good to ride, do you know what it is that you're supposed to be looking for? What kind of road debris, what kind of hazards are out there? That's what we're going to be talking about next week. So make sure you hit subscribe.